Hi guys, welcome to Project 5 Tarot and More. I'm Sharon, Intuitive Empath, channeling the energy for the daily vibe today being July 6th. I'm feeling like the misalignment for today is going to be about overwhelm. Okay, I think that there's another massive purge for those who are in this phase that are still working on purging and healing. There's another massive purge that was just triggered by this eclipse energy, and then of course preemptively expecting Mercury retrograde. So a lot of past experiences are going to be coming up for review. I think all of them at once, in fact, which is going to feel very overwhelming. Okay, so that's what I get is for those of you who are struggling through the feeling of overwhelm, this is the message for you today to help realign you. Discernment came out again. We have that as a running theme for the week. Keeps coming out. You guys hear me shuffle. Can't make this crap up. Alright, what do we have here? Romantic love. We're going to figure out how that ties into everything else, you guys. Yes, yes. One more card. Procrastination is coming up for romantic love. Still the fear of failure, the fear of making the wrong choice, so not making any choice. Trapped in indecision regarding that. And then the feeling of overwhelm from all these past energies coming up, preventing this collective from actually making the decision to move forward and take action. Okay? So we're going to find out what's going on with you guys, or for you guys. I do feel like there's one more card coming, so we're just gonna, okay, two. Both chakras. Crown chakra, throat chakra. Alright, let's figure out what this is all about. Okay, so what are the specific emotional energies that you guys are going to be trending and experiencing as you purge? Worry versus gratitude. So there's a strategy developing in there. And then I feel like we have a card from this deck. Moving through them pretty quickly here. I try to keep these videos short and sweet because they're dailies. They've been getting longer and longer progressively, kind of into something a little bit more. So I'm trying to work with spirit because I know that some of you guys are really struggling. And for those of you who did reach out to me via email, I really appreciate hearing from you. I don't mind talking through things and lending advice. Readings are, personal readings particularly, are extra. There's information on my YouTube channel about that, okay? I do this for a living, so I don't offer extensive free advice. Consultation, yes, so that you guys understand what you're getting and for the cost, but there is cost associated with it, you guys. All right, so let's see what comes out here. Self-acceptance. Ooh, interesting. I wonder how that ties into romantic love here. Let's see. I feel like that's correlating with the I'm not where I need to be in order to, and then change has come out, and change has been a theme as well. So I feel like the self-acceptance card is here because it's representing the I need to do more, I need to be more, I need to have more. I'm not really where I want to be in order to really express myself into a relationship, get into a relationship, offer myself seriously into romantic love. I still feel like there's more stability or more financial provision that I want to have is kind of the voice that's coming through for that, okay? So let's look up 39, which is the theme for today, romantic love. The frequency of today. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. Okay, so we're gonna put these two cards together because I really feel there's a strong relationship between these two. Love is probably the most sought after, mysterious, indeterminate, and fulfilling feeling that a human can experience. Its mystery surely derives from the fact that we cannot really describe or define what it is. Is it an energy? Is it an emotion? Perhaps it is simply the glue that binds everything together. Whatever it is, we know without a doubt when we feel loved and when we love. As vibrational beings, we hold a frequency that aligns with the frequency of our thoughts and our emotions. And from that vibrational point of attention, we attract everything else into our reality. Love is one of the highest frequencies. When we are in a state of love, we easily attract circumstances and people into our reality that are aligned with that frequency. The love that is so desired and fulfilling for many is romantic love, the love we experience with another when we are in love. The expression of being in love suggests that it is a place where we can be, not just a feeling that we have. When we are in love, we feel completely surrounded and engulfed by it. We are in the middle of it with no awareness of where it begins or where it ends. Our world becomes love and we feel more complete. However, there are some people that don't feel as complete initially. They feel like they're losing their freedom. They feel like they're losing their own self identity, okay? So I do think that self-acceptance is here for that specific group of people or individuals that feel like you're sacrificing so much of what you currently value about your independence and your, what's the word? Just being single, you know, coming and going as you please, not having anyone to answer to, the emotional blow-ups and fights and all the stuff that you have to work out and work through and negotiate to compromise to come to, you know, a linear collective in the 3D world about how to make the and how to manage through the relationship in day-to-day life. So I feel like even though romantic love is ideally all of that which was described here, it's not taking into consideration the change that needs to take place when two people come together and try to cooperate to cohesively create a life together. The amount of worry that can be involved in that, okay, when you lose sight of the person that you're grateful to have in your life, okay? So for those of you who are finding it challenging to work through those energies, the self-acceptance affirmation for today is nothing is more exhausting than endlessly working on yourself. When you offer your whole being fully to love, self-acceptance arises spontaneously. May I rest in our oneness, dear divine. Okay, so when you feel aware or become aware that you're out of alignment, for those of you who are manifesting union or self-love, working on your own self-love, which is healing and purging, and self-acceptance in that. For some of you, forgiveness is a part of that. Self-forgiveness for the past previous experiences that you've been asked to purge this week, that have been triggered, in fact, for you to purge. Take a deep breath. Exhale, release, relax. And recite. Just show me the first step and change me into one who can take it. Because this speaks to the overwhelm of all of those negative emotions that are coming in, the overwhelm and that feeling of like checking out or becoming disengaged is what I would say. Kind of going into your head space and losing focus of your emotional space in a healthy way. losing your activation of your transmutated energy, okay, and then going inside and generating more low vibrational negative energy, okay. Low vibrational energy isn't always negative, but when you associate with it worry, okay, and concern for change and resistance of change, and then judgment for a lack of self-acceptance, it generates negative energy because that's the intent. So if you take all of these things and you cycle them around and around in your head, and you create the inner dialogue that speaks to you as I'm not good enough, I'm still not where I need to be to offer love or accept love, all of the things, all of the things that we tell ourselves, or the inner dialogue that takes place that represents resistance to change, a lack of self-acceptance, even self-hatred, and then the worry associated with walking out into our truth or living in our truth. And that's, I think, why the throat chakra is here, because the throat chakra represents speaking our truth. And I think that there are some of you guys that are not in communication because you are not activating yourself to accept the change. Know that you're exactly where you need to be. There's nothing more that you need to accomplish in order to move forward and into your truth and pursuit of your romantic interest or romantic love. Okay, and the crown chakra is the chakra that is actually the first associated chakra with the divine. It supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. There you go. So this is the supportive card for those of you who are struggling through that inner negative dialogue that's cycling around. And remember, we keep talking about that, the science of spirit. When you cycle back to your point of origination and you start all over again, you've just generated negative electromagnetically, or negatively charged electromagnetic energy that you're emanating into your auric space, which is the most immediate space around you. And once that starts to build up in your auric field, it starts to cloud your vision, it starts to alter your perception, it starts to create more worry, because that's what energy does as it is stored and it remains unexpressed, right? You're not speaking your truth. Because you're afraid, or you are resisting the change, resisting the relationship, resisting moving forward, still stuck in indecision. So what you're doing is, scientifically, you're actually generating more negative energy. So does it help to scientifically express to you what's going on? Not unless we offer you a way out. Okay, and that's why I do these realignment strategies. So what I encourage you to do is trust the message. When you become aware that you're in this cycle, okay, depending on how long you've been in this cycle, worry, doubt, fear, all of these things, this pent-up negative energy is going to be pretty intense. You're going to feel overwhelmed. So when you make the first attempt in this first cycle to speak these words of self-acceptance, which, may I rest in our oneness, may I just rest calmly in our oneness, and show me the first step and change me into one who can take it, or I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents, okay, and releasing the worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. All it does is change your perception and your experience from within your own auric space, and how you interact, relate, and connect or disconnect or detach from others because of that negative impacted energy. Okay, when you first speak it in that first cycle, is it going to generate the same amount of positive energy as the negative energy that's built up? No, it's not going to be equal. You're not going to say this one time and then bam, by some miracle of science and everything in the universe. No. This is just as much a repetitive cycle of do it over, repetitive cycle, okay? And this is where I do believe the discernment card represents that energy, is to use your discernment to create cycles of positive, charged electromagnetic energy into your auric space. And then because you've seen evidence when you do it with the negative intent, or when you do it with intent for worry, how worry multiplies into your space, then you can see evidently if you apply the same principles scientifically to the positively generated energy, guess what you're going to therefore fill your auric space with? Positively charged, intended energy. And that will transmute into your environment, and that environment becomes your immediate personal space. Your immediate personal space vibes high, and what that does is maintains connection with other high vibrational beings. Okay, so when you fill your auric space with low vibrational energy, you will and can be attracted to high vibrational energies or entities. Okay, they may come to you, that's true, but they're not going to stay. Okay, you're going to repel them, and that is going to be perceived or experienced as rejection. Okay, but that high vibrational person has done a lot of work to be high vibrational. Okay, and remember we talked about how everything in the universe seeks balance before anything else. 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 oxygen atom seeks balance with each other energetically, and it creates water. Okay, a life-giving force that's essential for us to survive. Okay, and that's just one example in the universe. Well, your electromagnetic field and someone else's electromagnetic field is no difference. The vibrational forces and energetic field that you're creating around you, interacting and connecting with the other vibrational forces around you or the other vibrational fields of someone else, if you start to, and this is where you get the term energy vampires, or you get energy suckers, if you're vibing so low compared to the high vibrational energy of this other person that you are drawn to this person and attach, and then immediately what happens is that vibrational energy doesn't get along with each other because it's not vibing on the same wavelength or the same frequency. So there's going to be a little feeling of chaos, uncertainty. There's going to be maybe even a fight or discord as you try to regulate that vibratory energy. So what ends up happening? The high vibrational person that understands their confidence, their self-worth, how they can exert themselves and transmute their energy that they've transmitted from source into their environment, okay? They're not going to allow that low vibrational energy to stay. So if you try to clamor on, if you're the low vibrational energy and you try to clamor on to that person, they will repel you, push you away, push you off, or literally detach and disconnect. And that feels like abandonment. That feels like rejection. Okay, so that's going to be the perceived experience from within your low vibrational space that you've created from this negative intended cyclic process. Okay, so when we talk about alignment and we talk about when you become aware that this is going on, oh my God, I am literally in worry. And what does that look like? This is never going to happen for me. Cycle intent. Back through into the environment, never going to happen. This is never going to happen for me. Cycle through, back to the point of origination, boom. You've just now sent this is never going to happen to me into your auric space. Or I can't make this happen. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea how to make this happen. When you keep saying that over and over through the intent of the cycle, when you come back to that place of origin, you have just put into your auric space worry. That's what's created. That's how perception gets altered, and that is scientific. You can break that right down to the science of energy and charging that energy with your intent. Okay, that is the power that you have been granted, the authority that you have been granted as a human being or a spiritual being, is you can generate that. You can transmute that from source. So you can take source energy, process it through your chakras indirectly and in a malalignment or a misalignment, through points of resistance, through control, trying to tell that energy how to go and which way to go through your means to control, and exert it into your auric field, and that's exactly what energy is going to be generated. Controlled, contrite, resistive, negative, low vibrational energy. All up in this piece. All up in this piece. And there's really a lack of awareness. at the heart of this, but also a sense of accountability, personal accountability. So I think that what self-acceptance is I didn't know that I was doing this, but what is the truth? Now you know, and there is an element of acceptance and accountability that has to come with that. So how do you make the change? You discern between the worry and the negatively impacted energies and the things that you're telling yourself, and the gratitude. Okay, so how does it shift? Very easily, shifts very easily, and it really is this simple. You focus on gratitude, statements of gratitude. I can figure this out. I know how to do this. I'm confident in myself. I believe this is possible. Now, this is all conscious intent, which is, takes a lot more energy than subconscious intent, and we can talk about frequencies, and that's why I do bring up frequencies, because you can go onto YouTube, there's Rife frequencies, and I do encourage people to utilize frequencies, generated frequencies that vibe at different chakra levels. So for example, if you have a difficult time connecting with Source and trusting and believing that you have the ability to transmute this energy from Source, then go on YouTube and search crown chakra frequency, sleep frequency. Listen to that for 9 hours while you sleep. Same thing, if you have trouble speaking your truth, or you have trouble representing your truth in your linear environment by telling people how you feel, if it's romantic love and you're having a difficult time approaching the person of interest, the throat chakra is where the point of resistance is, that I guarantee you that. So go on to YouTube and look up throat chakra frequencies and listen to them while you meditate, okay? Activate yourself in your own empowerment, which has definitely also been a theme this week. So the strategy for today, when you become aware that you have been sending into your auric space negatively intended and impactful energy, just stop. Just become aware of it and stop it right there. Take a deep breath, exhale, release, okay, and relax and release. Confirm for yourself that you want positively charged auric energy. That's what you want. So own it with attitude of gratitude and speak this into your space. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. I don't care how many times, because the honest to goodness truth is it doesn't even matter what words you use. It matters the energy and the feeling and the emotion that you have when you're speaking it. So even if you're resentful when you're speaking it, still speak it with the intent of charging your auric presence in a positive way. Okay? Make that your intent. You might not feel it right away. Like I said, it comes back to the cycle, the first cycle. That's why it's always a little bit challenging to make change, because you don't instantly see the evidence of the change when you do all of this work to get through the cycle. So a lot of people give up after the first cycle because they emanate that energy and it dissipates very quickly. There's a densely charged negative auric field or auric presence around you. So how do you clear that energy? You can do smudging, sage smudging. You can go see a energy healer. Okay, you can get a Reiki session that will focus on balancing your chakra system, and then you can start fresh. Okay, you can do detox at homeopathic clinics to allow your physical body to substantiate the spiritual changes that you're making as well, and to mimic those kinds of changes in your physical presence as well. Okay, to represent all of that together holistically. There's a lot of things that you can do. You can purchase charged crystals and find the crystal that resonates with you for your most prioritized need energetically. Okay, I have crystals on the table here, you guys, that help me. Aquamarine is a huge one for me. I have crystalline quartz, I have tourmaline, I have kunzite, I have apatite, I have bloodstone. These kinds of things help keep the energies around me, particularly amethyst, pieces of amethyst as well, kind of scattered around the house, to help charge the energy in the places where I'm not always present. and they maintain a balanced energy there, or hold the energy in place so that things are not constantly in flux, and I'm not moving through the energetic spaces being blindsided by energies that I'm not aware of being there. Okay, so I encourage all of you guys to find what modalities help you to channel energy, to get in touch with your intuition, to transition through these energies throughout your day, to think of things in terms of cycles, scientifically apply the principles of the laws of the universe, universal laws, hermetic principles, as above, so below. Learn about the Kabbalah. That's another thing that's very present as far as the science of spirit. The Kabbalah really kind of breaks a lot of that down. Search. Become a seeker. Seek, seek, seek. Never stop learning. Never stop looking. You'll find what it is that you need when you continue to seek and look for it. Okay, and that includes change, because change is always on the horizon. It's always there. Change is inevitable. So resistance is futile, if you want to talk about cliches. But honestly, in my estimation, the easiest thing that I've ever done for myself, or the thing that I've done that has made it easiest for myself moving forward, is to just allow change to be there and deal and reconcile with my emotional self as a result. Okay, so I can empower myself to deal with whatever emotions come as a result of whatever change is pending. Okay, but trying to fight or resist the change, or dodge it and ditch and bob and weave, so much energy expended into those kinds of interventions, and to no avail, because it was inevitable. It was going to happen. You guys, so yeah, find that attitude of gratitude and keep repeating it throughout the day. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. And as that cycle works through and it emanates that energy into your auric space, you will actually start to feel it, perceive it, experience it, and then it becomes your reality, you guys. Okay, so it is something that you do have to do repetitively. And then support your subconscious with the frequencies that you listen to at night with your theta brain waves. When you're in those, when you're in your theta brain waves, I think is what it is. I'll look it up and we'll do something more definitive on that with the science of spirit regarding subconscious changes. Okay, when you're drawn to your subconscious and to your subconscious change, and there's prolific need or necessity to change at a subconscious level to support the conscious changes that you're making in your day-to-day life, and you want to synergistically have those align themselves together, you will find that you will grow in leaps and bounds way more quickly and release and purge way more easily when your subconscious mind is actually supporting your conscious mind throughout the day. Okay, so I hope that helps all of you guys. I've touched on a lot of different subject matter. I definitely intend on going more in depth in the science of spirit regarding a lot of these concepts and the universal laws of presence and auric energy generation, particularly for your own personal space, and how to expand that beyond your personal space and interact with other people's auric presences so that you don't even get hurt. Like, hurt isn't even on the table. You already discern based on from a distance by trusting your intuition and knowing how to interact with people's auric spaces before you interact with the person themselves. Okay, so we're gonna get nitty gritty about that. I'm developing a program to kind of offer some insight into that. So look for that coming up here in the next few months, okay? So thank you guys for tuning in. Sebbies, welcome back. Newbies, welcome to the channel. And as always, click like and subscribe. Help the message circulate. And namaste.